Hello troops, and welcome back to the With Mates podcast, and welcome back to another episode of The Catch-Up. Yes, we're back with our weekly show, The Catch-Up, where we talk all things movies, entertainment, and just good buddy stories and whatnot. Unfortunately, the wonderful Baby Boone cannot be with us today, but we have a stacked show with the man himself, Craig Andrew Mooney.
Hello everybody, hello.
And he's the smackiest of smacks, it's Polly Smack Pulse. Did it!
Smack down right to your screen. Hey, smacking you in the morning.
Smacking you in the morning, yes. This is an early morning show, if you can't tell from my eyes. Yeah, so it's just going to be the three of us today, guys. Obviously, Joseph couldn't make it. We are determined to get these shows out to you as fast and as quickly as we possibly can. But, you know, scheduling and people have got lives and whatnot. So we're working our way around that, but we are definitely going to get the catch-up to you this very Monday. How are we, lads? Are we good? Are we well? Are we busy? Are we not? What's happening?
All good in the hood. All good in the hood. I'm just been working away as doing some other language toot ring.
You teach language and that's how you speak?
Well, you know, I have my own cadence and way of doing and saying most things. So yeah, that's how I speak.
Fair enough. Craig?
I've witnessed Paul teach and he is spectacular. So shout out to Paul. He's very good at it. He is genuinely. So I have been busy as always trying to get this film carrying on with us all this film related fun. And just sent off the book to the publisher as well. So fingers crossed that all comes back nice and tickety-boo and we can crack on with that second book. So yeah, who knows?
Lovely.
What's next? But yeah, all fun.
Smashing. Well, in the world of movies and TV and film, there is a lot going on. So today we are going to talk about more Harry Potter castings. There's another rather exciting or well-reviewed or well-spoken about TV show coming to Netflix. We've got more Marvel news, of course, and we have a lovely little Last of Us trailer. Last of Us coming out, I think it's like a month today, so I think we're like 4 weeks away. I think is it 13th or 14th of April, something like that. We've got a lovely wee Last of Us trailer, and we will of course be talking about Daredevil, Invincible, all the good stuff. But where do we want to start? Craig, do you want to start things off with what's happening with Harry Potter and Adolescence?
I can do, yes. So we got a few more casting confirmations, I think,
Nice.
This past week in Harry Potter. One is less confirmed than the other, but I think it's pretty much a odds on now it's going to actually happen. So the one that is confirmed, we believe, is Janet McTeer as McGonagall.
Right.
Which I'm familiar with Janet McTeer, but not as familiar as I could be. So I kind of in my head could picture like her as a performer and kind of see, okay, fair enough, yeah, that could work. I could see her as McGonagall. Not sure if I don't think she is Scottish, is she?
No,
Janet McTeer?
I
don't actually mean she's got a Scottish sounding name, but I don't think she actually is Scottish. I mean, neither was Maggie Smith, to be fair, but Maggie Smith had a banging accent, so she got away with it. But I don't think, she's English, so it's going to be pressure's on, I would say, because I can count on one hand the number of even professional actors that don't have a convincing Scottish accent on screen. So we will see how she gets on with that.
What was she in?
She's been she's kind of one of those actors who's kind of just been in a lot of stuff.
Oh, I know what she's in. She's in Ozark. She's in Ozark. That's what I've seen her from. Phenomenal show.
Ozark. The White Queen.
Watched Ozark,
the White Queen as well. The White Queen. I've recently watched her. Now I kind of been watching all those shows recently, and they've been good. Yeah, she was good in that too. Nice. And the White. I think was she in Jessica? Yeah, she was in Jessica Jones as well. I remember. Yeah, exactly. So I think she fits the vibe.
Yeah,
I think she fits the vibe, but I'm interested to see obviously whether she'll be able to pull off the Scottish accent. Obviously, it's a tough act to follow Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
The more potentially controversial, I'm actually intrigued to hear your thoughts about this, because I don't actually see it as that controversial anymore. But I'll tell you why in a second. But we've got Papa Osiadu. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but he has been heavily rumoured and probably odds on now cast to be Professor Snape. Now, we have obviously the idiots out there who are commenting obviously on the man's race. That's all the nonsense. Who gives a fuck? Absolutely ridiculous. the thing that kind of struck me more about the casting was that Professor Snape is supposed to be, he's described as looking a certain way in terms of his appearance, the hair, the fact he's a bit unkempt. He isn't a very attractive man, at all. He's been rejected his whole life.
Alan Rickman, don't listen. You're a handsome fella.
Yes,
I mean, I know you can't listen, but you get my point. Alan Rickman, handsome guy.
Alan Rickman was a handsome man, but essentially in the books, that's how Snape is described. He's described as that kind of seedy looking, dirty kind of. Yeah, it's not. He's not a nice person to look at.
Yeah.
Whereas Papa, I think, is a very handsome young man. So I was kind of confused by that from that point of view.
Yeah.
But what I will say, lads, and I'll get your thoughts in a second. The more I looked at him, for some reason, I just thought, I can see that. I can see you as Snape. I don't think he fits like the appearance wise that was kind of discussed in the books, but just there's something about him. The more I looked at him, I was just like, I think this could work. I don't know why, but I think this could work. I could just see him in the role for some reason. Just kind of he's quite he's quite stoic looking. He's quite calm and reserved in the kind of his appearance. I just think it's going to work, and I don't know why. But yeah, lads, what do you think of the casting?
Paul, do you want to go first?
I think we're going to go down the Rings of Power route where nothing's going to mean anything. Everything's just going to be... Everything's just going to look the same. It's going to have a ridiculously high budget. Everything's going to look really nice. And everything's just going to look bland as vanilla paste.
It's not going to look bland. It's HBO. It's going to look great for one. It is going to look great.
I don't know, man. That Amazon's came out with some good stuff, and they
yeah, but you can't. There is literally no competition between Amazon and HBO. HBO is streaks ahead of everybody. Anything HBO ever fucking announces, I'm like, yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be brilliant. Like, even again, it's maybe never 10 on 10. Like the last House of the Dragon wasn't the best, but it was still like looked stunning, and like the dragons looked incredible and stuff like that. I've got no worries about HBO, like production value and even script and stuff like that. HBO do good stuff. Here's my thoughts on the casting. Right, again, acting ability is fantastic.
Yeah,
I think the issue with me, and again, I don't have an issue. I'm going to watch it. I hope the guy does a brilliant job. I'm not again, Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I'm not like, you can't do that. No. What I will say though is, from the stuff that I've seen and the stuff I've read, the black community are like, why are you casting him? Like, what does that achieve? It doesn't help us. Again, obviously, you want my whole thing with more diversity and more. I want more stories to be told. So we had an episode that was titled "Just Make Something New." Stop recasting characters maybe in different race. Tell another story. Make a story about a professor who's black and introduce a new character. I don't know. Like, to me, I just feel like you're giving people ammunition to not want to watch this even more. So you've already got a huge part of the fan base that don't want to be part of this because of J.K. Rowling's thoughts on like trans and stuff like that, which again, fair enough. But I guarantee there's going to be a huge pushback going, well, why are you changing the characters? Like, why are you doing that? Like, realistically, we've had this story. We've already kind of spoken about how it's only like, what, 20 years or something? Or no, is it 20 years removed from the first film and stuff? Again, I think the guy will do a good job. I'm excited to see what he does with it. But I can already see people kind of complaining, going, why are you leaving? Because again, I'd seen somebody, again, these are on like TikToks and Vines and stuff, reading the description that he had like, similar to what you were saying, Craig, sallow skin, yellow teeth, blah, blah, blah. And again, people were saying like Adam Driver should have played Snape. I'm going, look, I get it. He kind of already looks like Snape. I'm not saying it's an easy casting, but again, I'm always open and I want to see what it is that they do. Again, somebody brought up the fact that James Potter, Harry's dad, bullying the only black kid in school is not going to be a good look in the 60s, 70s, that when he grows up in school, which I'm kind of going, yeah, okay, kind of, I get you. But again, I don't mind the casting. I feel as if they obviously have an idea in mind, and that's the route they're going to go down. I am, of course, open and want to see. And again, the actor, I can't remember what I've seen Papa in. I've seen him in stuff, and I remember him being very, very good. So again, I've got no issue with him performing wise. But I'm just like, I feel as if it's already a show that I feel as if is like strewn with backlash, and I'm like, you're just asking for more.
I'm also confident based on the stage show that I think they'll make Hermione black as well.
Yeah.
Which again I have no real issue with, but as you're saying, Andrew, it's just gonna cause more. But again, that's their problem, I suppose.
Yeah.
The people who are going to complain about these things,
yeah,
that is their problem, and you should just enjoy it and watch it and see what happens. But I think they'll go with Hermione as well, personally.
Probably, and again, I don't mind that as well. As you say, it's already kind of been done stage show wise, and I don't mind. Obviously with Snape as well. I'm like, look, if he's telling a story in a different way, if you're telling the story like characters maybe got a slightly different background, you're kind of steering away from what we've already had to give us something different. That's fine. That's cool. I'm more than happy to see it. And as I say, I think the actor is fantastic, and he's obviously auditioned for it and killed it. So they've went, yeah, you're the best one that's going to give us the character of Snape that we want that we want to show. So yeah,
as I said,
well done.
Yeah, as I said, like there's just something about him. Like the more I looked at him, I was like, I think there's someone here. I think casting wise, there could be someone here actually. But yeah. Also, the only other thing that was rumored, which I think is quite fun at this point, which we kind of discussed already, Andrew, is Harry Styles for a Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yeah.
Which I know Paul's going to be gutted. Paul's going to be gutted about that, but yeah, that's interesting. I would say.
How true is that though? Like, where are you seeing that? Because I've not seen anything.
I think that's just rumors. I think it's just fan casting rumors at the minute. But you never know. These things can sometimes spiral into something real. So Again, I'm not a massive fan of Harry Styles as an actor. I don't think he's very good personally. I think he's kind of rode on his coattails of being a famous person, a famous singer, to get roles and stuff. But there's something about that character that I think, actually, you know what? Why not? Give him a shot. See what he does. I think there's something that it could work with his kind of overall kind of vibe, I would say. But yeah, we'll see.
Do we know? Just a random question to put to you. Do we know if is it going to be like one series per book?
So the rumor is that it's going to be a 10-year project.
Okay.
What that means, I don't know, but certainly, if it was me who was adapting this into TV shows, I can't see books 1, 2, or 3 being more than one season. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, no, of course not. It'd be more.
So yeah.
But I feel as if even then, like if you do 10 episodes an hour each, that's 10 hours worth of stuff. You should be able to get a series of book. That's interesting.
I think so.
Paul disappeared. We'll see if he comes back. Don't know what's happening.
Don't know what's happened to Paul.
We'll crack on then. So, any more about Harry Potter that you want to give your thoughts anymore before we move on? Cool. Tell me about Adolescence.
So this is a show that has kind of gone under the radar a wee bit until it's come out, it's just come out, I think, was it yesterday or the day before? And it is about, it's called Adolescence. It's on Netflix. It's when a 13-year-old is accused of the murder of a classmate, his family, therapist, and the detective in charge are all left asking what really happened. Now, the fun part about this show is that it's, again, Stephen Graham obviously loves this sort of format. It's, again, a one-take wonder. Each episode is one take.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
cool.
he's enjoying this kind of Burning Point kind of way of filmmaking. Stephen Graham, I must admit, I actually worked with Stephen Graham once on something. I'm delighted to see how his career's kind of progressed over the years. Like he really has like blown up over the last few years, and he's shown he's a very, very good actor. And he's doing all these really cool stuff. But yeah, I've not actually watched the show yet, but it is something that is definitely now high on my list. It's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes at the minute. And yeah, everyone is absolutely raving about it. The young boy who is in it, this is his first ever acting role, and he actually has never been to like drama school, drama classes. They plucked a guy from a council estate and said, "Here you go, let's see if you can act." So his name's Owen Cooper, and apparently he does a fantastic job.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
And now apparently he's carrying on being an actor. He's now going to be in a film with Margot Robbie. He's doing Wuthering Heights. He's playing a young Heathcliff. A young Heathcliff.
That's
so good for him. Good for
probably
him.
He'll probably end up being in fucking Harry Potter as well.
Yeah,
I've seen some really good things. I've seen some stuff online about certain episodes, and that's a thing that gets me is more. It's just like, see if you hear that a TV series is good, you go, all right, cool. See, when I've seen like that episode 4, oh my god kind of thing, where I'm like, all right, so not only is it good, but we get like peak good. So it's going to be like there's going to be something substantial, obviously, that happens in episode 4. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there and stuff like that. Stephen Graham, though, I think Stephen Graham might be one of the best working actors that the UK has got. Oddly enough, though, I don't think he's blew up to... This seems random because of who he's worked with and stuff like that. I don't think he's like A-tier superstar. But in terms of like performing and some of the stuff that he's done, like obviously he's worked with Al Pacino and he's done stuff like... was he in Peaky Blinders?
I think he might have been.
I think he was in Peaky Blinders. I could be wrong, but yeah, he's done so much stuff. Obviously, This Is England and multiple movies. He was in the Venom franchise. He's fantastic. And again, to me, I still want to watch Boiling Point. I've never ever actually watched it. My mate Craig, actually, who he's into movies, but he's not really into movies. He recommended it to me and said it's unreal. And then obviously I found out it was all done in one shot, all that kind of stuff. So I need to watch that, and I'm more than definitely going to watch Adolescence. So let's move on. We'll change over to a wee bit of movie news. So last week we spoke about the Marvel leaks. The Russos have been quite quick to come out and go, that's not our film. They've come out and said it's definitely not them. It's definitely not their movie. Do you buy it?
I don't really, actually, because I think it's one of those classic things of saying, oh no, that's not, to keep the kind of suspense and the surprise and all those things. What I hope they don't do is I hope they don't change things based on this happening, because the concept art looked fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very into it. So I really hope they don't like swerve because of what's happened and kind of try to keep things different and surprising.
Yeah.
Because I meant it. What do you think? Do you think it was real or not?
I think so. It's difficult because again, it's concept art, so there's always a chance that it doesn't actually happen that way anyway. But there has to be something to it because it looked real. As real as concept art can look. Like, and there was enough of it, and there was some Fantastic Four stuff that would make sense and things like that. The rumour that I have seen though is that it's the Russos have come out and said that theirs is going to be very based on the 1980s and the 2010s. So that doesn't really track with what we got in the concept art and stuff like that. But again, mate, asking me, there's no point. I'm in. Like, whatever they give me, I'm more than happy to watch, and I am beyond excited for it and stuff like that. Like, yeah, to me it's whether the concept art is right or not, the Russo brothers can do no wrong in my eyes in terms of Marvel. Maybe not with Netflix. What was that? Electric State? That doesn't seem to be going down too well. But yeah, like, to me, in terms of Marvel, yeah, they can do no wrong. But yeah, I like the aesthetic. I liked it in What If. I liked when they had that kind of Renaissance feel to the movies and to the episodes and stuff like that. So that'd be quite a cool thing to do. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if it does going forward. The other Marvel news, oh my god, he's back. It only took him half an hour.
No.
Right, Paul, we're going to need to...
They try to lock me out.
We'll give you quick fire rounds. Thoughts on Stephen Graham? Do you like him?
Stephen Graham. Love him. He's a great actor. Just don't know who he is.
You don't know who Stephen Graham is?
Of course I know who Stephen Graham is.
And the leaks that came out in Marvel that we looked at last week, the Russo brothers have said that's not their stuff, that's not what they're doing. Do you believe them?
Do I believe the rumours? No. There's never any truth to rumours. I believe that is a fallacy. Fallacy, I say.
Deal. Right, well, we have one more other Marvel story, which is Sadie Sink of Stranger Things fame, the young ginger girl, has been cast in the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 4. So there's a lot of rumours of... Well, not a lot. There's two. There's two rumours of who people think she could be playing. Paul, I'll come to you first in case you get abducted again. Do you care? 2, do you think she's any good and will be good in this movie? And 3, who do you think she's likely to be playing?
So this is for Avengers.
So the information that we have so far is Sadie Sink has been cast in Spider-Man 4.
Spider-Man 4.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes. No. Now I can picture her. I think it's possible they're going down a Gwen route.
Okay.
And I know that's everyone's popular theory.
Mm-hmm.
But my theory is that she is actually a Mary Jane variant.
Ooh, I like
That's
it.
not a bad idea.
Instead of going to Gwen, because they love their multiverse, it's actually going to be a different, more, some might say, traditional Mary Jane.
Nice.
Maybe that's her story. Get the multiverse story. Maybe that was the compromise. You can have a multiverse story. Give us another Mary Jane. Maybe that's the compromise that they made with Marvel.
I don't know why I'm pitching for this, but you're gonna have the Mary Jane that doesn't know him but he loves, and then a Mary Jane he doesn't know but
that actually
he
works.
gets to know him.
Like story wise, character wise, because that is what he's going through at that point in time. That's Paul. Hey,
do you know the only thing that makes me go against? The only thing that makes me go against that is you're not going to cast Sadie Sink to be like a one and done. And in that storyline, you can't have 2 Mary Janes. Do you know what I mean? They could do. I'm always open to it. But, yeah. To me, and again...
Think of it. This is like all for me. Like,
oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's Spider-Man, he loves them both, but does he go with the old flame? But she doesn't know him. Like, she forgot everything.
I mean, if we go by the hair history, she's more likely to play Gwen because Kirsten Dunst was blonde and played a redhead Mary Jane, whereas Emma Stone and is it Bryce Dallas Howard?
right? Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah,
are both ginger and played a blonde Gwen Stacy. So going by just that theory, she's going to play a blonde Gwen Stacy. There is also the rumor of Jean Grey, the X-Men character, which I don't know, first of all, how that links up. Like, I don't know what X-Men and what Spider-Man movie comics, where that's been a big crossover and stuff like that. But let's play the hypothetical game. Jean Grey, Craig, do you see that as a good casting?
I do. I can't remember if she came up on our X-Men casting pod. No, which is interesting because actually, yeah, when I think about it now, she could definitely play Jean Grey. I think she's got the chops. If you think actually about her in Stranger Things, she had the thing where she was like raised up. Yeah. Which was like, angelic. Like, so you could see it. You could definitely see it. So I think I do feel like for the X-Men as well, I'd like them to go slightly younger. Just to kind of, I kind of want them to kind of go down that route maybe a little bit. No, not too young, but like kind of like we're talking maybe early 20s kind of. So if by that point she probably would be in her early 20s.
Yeah,
I think
she's 22 just now. So
yeah, okay, so she should be in that kind of zone already.
Actually,
yeah, so
actually she's 23 tomorrow. So happy birthday, Sadie Sink, tomorrow. Well, Friday. No, what day is today? Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so it'll be yesterday. She was 22. The one thing I will say, I've seen on Twitter. There's a guy called Jeff Snyder who is like a scooper in America. He does a lot of scoops. Yesterday he said that she's playing Mary Jane. So Paul, you could be absolutely on the money.
Big brain plays. That's what I'm all about. That's why I'm going to win the movie draft.
Speaking of the movie draft, there is some interesting stuff that's happening there. My counter pick is not going well.
A segue machine.
A segue machine? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, to get us into that. So yeah, in terms of the movies, we've had what ones have been released? Black Bag's been released. That's getting reviewed very, very well. So that's good points for Craig, but also bad points for me because I counterpicked it, so I will lose those points. We have also had Mickey 17's been reviewed. I believe Minecraft will be getting reviewed very, very soon. Paul, did you gave Joseph Snow White, didn't you, for his bomb?
Oh yeah.
So
Yes.
the news that's come out for that is Disney are not allowing any reviewers into the premiere and stuff like that.
Cowards.
Yeah, apparently.
Cowards.
Again, that's out next week, so we'll find out pretty soon. But yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about like they cancelled Rachel Ziegler like singing at the Magic Kingdom, and there's a lot of stuff apparently they were going to do, but they've just not done it, and I'm just like, whoa, this is.
Didn't they cancel the premiere?
Well, there's still a premiere happening. Apparently, there was going to be a UK premiere and stuff like that, and that got cancelled. They are having. Yeah, they are having.
This is bad. Then.
Yeah, they are
this is
having.
really bad.
They are having a Hollywood premiere, for it.
Wow.
I gave that to Joseph. Didn't
Yeah. So he gets negative points.
Bon voyage, Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph. I can't lie. Joseph's not. I mean, I've had a bad start. Like I'm probably gonna get negative points for Minecraft, and I've already got negative points for counterpicking Black Bag. But yeah, Joseph's not on. Off to the best of starts. So just to round things up, obviously we will be doing full podcasts on the episodes of Daredevil, and obviously we will have our finale podcast for Invincible. But we'll get some quick non-spoiler thoughts on that before we head off. Are you up to date with Daredevil? Are you up to date? Have you watched the Invincible?
Yep.
What did you want to talk about first?
I just watched Invincible before we hopped on here.
Did it land? Is the question.
It was. Things landed.
Multiple times.
Landed. Multiple times. Both metaphorically and literally. And, I think it was reminiscent of another episode in a previous season.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give my full thoughts on it on our full Invincible review. But overall,
Happy with it.
I was kind of digging it. Yeah,
Nice.
I was kind of digging it.
Craig?
For Paul, that means you'll fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's a 10.
But yeah, as a 10, yeah. Oh yes, big time yes for that Invincible. Oh my word, yes. I will admit to the listeners as well. I admitted it on last night's podcast, Severance's podcast as well. Andrew was right. So yes, there it is, guys. But yeah, it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to talk about it in more detail when we do our podcast.
I'm very much the same. Fucking adored it. Absolutely loved it. Landed. We will give full spoiler thoughts on it when we do our spoiler review for the end of the season for the finale. I will say, Craig, I mean, if I could show our group chat, like the fact that you said don't get cocky, kid. I'm 3 for 3 now. You've admitted 3 different shows where I was right about my opinion, and now it's like
Hey.
So we need to keep that streak going. I was right about Severance as well. Soon you will believe that I was right about Severance, but
the world disagrees, Andrew. That's what I will say. The world disagrees.
Do you know the funny thing is I listen to a lot of podcasts as well, and like everyone's like, "Oh, did you see this week's episode of Severance?" And in my head, I'm going, "No, I did not," and I'm happy about it. So yeah, Invincible, 2 thumbs up. Cannot wait. We are now 3 episodes into Daredevil. Another series where I was like, it just keeps getting better and better. And I'm telling you, the first 3 episodes are absolutely fantastic. I love what they're doing with the character. I love what they're doing with the show. Again, we'll probably do a mid-season. Yeah. Again, we're trying to figure out time-wise to get everybody on the schedule. April's going to be the exact same. We will try to figure out to get as much content out to you, lovely viewers and listeners, as possible. But 3 episodes in, I couldn't be happier. There's nothing about this show that I'm going, hate it, don't like what they're doing, don't understand what they're doing. I love the first 3 episodes of Daredevil. And I am so excited for the 4th episode, where they leave it at the end of episode 3. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy 1 and 2 as much as you, Andrew, but 3 felt more like the show again. to me. It really did, and I was very impressed with it. So I'm back on board, back on the Daredevil train.
Paul?
I am playing my cards very close to this until we do our review.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I like that tease. Even for, like, I don't give a fuck. Not that I don't give a fuck about the listeners or the viewers, but for me, I'm well interested in that. So yeah, the one thing I would say about it is apparently episode 2 and 3 were apparently going to be episodes 1 and 2. So there's not much of a difference from what it was originally going to be from that, which I'm kind of going, don't mind that. There is a fun little Easter egg that, again, I will leave for when we do the podcast about a certain character that I would love to get your thoughts on. But I will do that in the main podcast when we talk about Daredevil. But the exciting thing for me, I seen an interview. They're obviously still doing a wee bit of press and stuff like that, where Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, they say, what's your favourite episode? Mate, they say 8, they say 6, they say 4, they say, like, they literally, like, the second half of the series, they said about every episode going, there's something that happens in 4 that I can't wait for everybody to see. There's something that happens in episode, and I'm like, yes, this is what I need. This is what we need from Marvel, and this is what we need from Daredevil. So yeah, make sure you keep your eyes and ears peeled for on our social medias for when we drop, obviously, our Invincible finale podcast, and we will be doing Daredevil, whether it'll be weekly or whether we'll probably do the first 4 as a bunch, and then maybe move to weekly if we can make that work. But to finish up today, to finish up our thoughts on this week's episode of the Catch Up, we are going to talk about, is it my most anticipated thing? It might be. I think it's my most anticipated TV/movie of the year, which is, of course, season 2 of The Last of Us. We got a trailer at the start of the week, or was it the weekend? It was like last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend.
So it was like a week ago we got it. Again, we're figuring out recording dates as well so that we can try and cover as much news as possible. But yeah, we got a trailer last weekend for season 2 of The Last of Us. As of the 12th of March, so 3 days ago from when we were recording it, it had 158 million views in 3 days. People are into this show. So my question to you guys, have you watched the trailer? What did you think of the trailer? And has it changed or added or taken away from your excitement to watch the show?
As someone with no real skin in the game other than
Why is that?
having watched... Well, I never played the games.
Xbox, that's why!
It's a superior console.
Come at me, viewers and listeners. Xbox versus PS5. PS5 all fucking day.
I am an island unto myself, an island of Xbox, and I need the support of you listeners and watchers to come to me with all of your Xbox opinions.
They'll have plenty of time to come because there's no games that they'll be playing. Go watch the Fable 2 trailer for the fucking 900th time, you fucking losers. Get a PS5, man.
Anyway, as I was saying, the trailer, I'm thinking it's looking, like positive, like good stuff. But my main thought was, because I have no idea what's going on with the story.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, where's my man Joe? What's his face?
Joel.
Joel. Egerton. Where's he? No, sorry, actual Joel. He's no in the trailer so much, is he? I saw him like a bit at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's my man? I want his face front and center. It seemed to be focusing on
Ellie.
I know her name's Ella Ramsey, but what's her
Ellie
character
name
again?
Yeah, Ellie.
Ellie, that's it. There we go. Yeah. So I'm like, it feels like it's going to be very Ellie centric to me.
Well, what I can say without spoiling anything is, in the first game, you play as Joel. In the second game, you play as Ellie. So that kind of that's maybe why they're kind of leaning more into seeing more of Ellie, and then obviously the new character Abby that they're introducing. Craig, thoughts?
So we know that Joel's the one that sells this, right? He's the guy. We gotta go bet on Joel. It's all about Joel.
Yeah,
it's his story almost.
Last one was more his story. Again, I don't know what they'll do with this in this series, but like, you play as Ellie, so it becomes more her story. And again, I'm trying my best not to spoil anything. It's where we left off was the very poignant moment where spoilers, right? Big old spoiler warning, because if you've not watched Last of Us Season 1 or played the game, this is a fucking massive spoiler, so you have been warned. Fast forward like a minute or two. I will say my spoiler in 3, 2, 1.
Dude, I've literally just said I've never played them.
Yeah, but you've watched the game.
You've watched season
Season 1, you fucking knob. So yeah, at the end of Season 1, after Joel rescues Ellie, and she's like, fuck, and again, we get it in this trailer where she says, give me your word, you didn't, like, you there was no way we could save humanity. He's like, yeah, there's no way we could save humanity. So you get it in this trailer where she says, you promise. So you kind of see, from where the second game picks up, you see that kind of fallout from Joel and Ellie's, like, relationship, like, where it grows, where it kind of doesn't grow and stuff like that. But it becomes a more Ellie-centric story, and then kind of goes for there. So, Craig, thoughts on the trailer?
Oh, I'm starting to get very suspicious now. I've got some thoughts in my head that I don't want to discuss. But yeah, I'm getting very suspicious. Okay.
One thing I will say as well, if you're watching this, right, we encourage as many comments as possible. Get in the comment section and come at me about the PS5, tell us about the Harry Potter casting, talk about Sadie Sink casting, and tell us about Last of Us. Don't spoil nothing. Don't be that guy. Don't be a prick. Right? Don't spoil fuck all.
Me and Paul generally have no idea what's coming.
Well, this is the thing, is like, and again, there will be
managed to avoid it as well.
This is why I'm enjoying The Last of Us getting to other people's eyes, right? Because not everybody's a gamer, right? Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 is two of the best games I've ever played. Probably the best games I've ever played, especially the second one. The second one's fucking fantastic. But how good the first season was, and now that people that are getting to experience this story, I want them to experience it fresh. So please don't spoil anything. I try my best not to spoil anything for people that haven't yet seen it and stuff like that. That's why we do spoiler warnings and stuff. But sorry, Craig, I interrupted you.
No. I'm buzzing for it. I'm really excited about it. Zombies aside, I'm looking forward to the kind of the human aspect of the whole show, which is why I actually still want to watch it, despite this not really being my thing. It's why I got really, really into the show last year, or whenever it was, 2 years ago. Fucking hell, 2 years ago. So I'm really excited for this. I'm probably just as excited for this as any other show this year. I would say. I love Bella Ramsey. I love Pedro Pascal. I think this is Pedro Pascal's best ever performance. So his best character he's ever played. So I'm excited to see where the relationship goes in season 2.
And how excited are you for zombies?
Couldn't give a fuck, mate.
Right, see this fucking zombie nonsense, right? I get it. We don't like zombies, blah, blah, blah. Let's move on, right?
I like zombies.
The zombies are circumstantial to this story. It's not that...
No, hey, this is why I'm into it, Andrew. This is why I'm into it. This is why I'm okay with it. But I just,
Now,
I switch off whenever they're on the screen. So
for my thoughts on it, I didn't think I could get more excited, but now I'm starting to see stuff, and I'm seeing stuff that I've played in the game that was like, I'm not joking, like there was points when I played that game where I was near sweating, I was breathing heavy, I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking good. And there's stuff I'm seeing in the trailer where I'm like, oh my god, they're doing that, oh, that's going to look so good, that's going to look brilliant. I'm gutted Josef's not here to talk about this. Obviously Joseph's played the game, because we've kind of theorised ourselves within the group and just between the two of us how they're gonna structure the story, whether they would do it the same as the game, whether they would do it differently and stuff like that. I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, viewers, I feel like this trailer gives you an idea of the timeline of how they're going to do it, so like where they're going to stop in the game, because the game is so long. They're doing this over 2 seasons minimum.
Oh, okay.
So I have an idea of where season 2 will end, and then obviously we'll find out where season 3 goes after that and stuff like that, because there was small stuff that I seen in this where I was like, right, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. The 2 points of the trailer that I want to bring up is the actor Joe Pantoliano, butchered his name, Pantoliano, who you would know from Bad Boys 2.
Mm-hmm.
He was the there's probably a lot more that he's better known, Memento, Matrix. He was in Matrix, of course. So there's a shot of him in the trailer. Apparently, I can't remember off the top of my head who he's playing, but it's somebody that's not actually in the game. It's more like a story in the background. But apparently he gets a full episode to himself. So the thought process is he's going to have remember, was it episode 3 that we had in the first season, where we had a character that was basically hardly in the game, but they gave him like his own episode, and it was the best part of the series. So he's apparently getting a full episode to himself, which I'm excited about. The other thing as well is we've got Jeffrey Wright, who voiced his character in the game, is playing the same character in this, and he looks so fucking good in it. Cannot wait to see what Jeffrey Wright does with that character. But the big thing for game players, and for people that like the story and the continuity of what happens in the game to what happens in the TV series, and I'm sorry guys, it's zombie news, we get spores in this. Now, for those that didn't play the game, spores are just obviously like wee things that float in the air. We didn't get any of that in the first season. They done a thing where like the zombies could kind of communicate through the ground, but they done it through like vines and stuff like that. So spores, to give you a context of why spores are important to gamers, is when you play the game, you walk into a room, so you'd be walking through like an abandoned school or whatever, right? And you would maybe get halfway up the school, and then you have to go to this room on the right, but this room is filled with spores, and you're like, fuck, that means I'm about to come across like the big bad zombies, like the clickers and the bloaters and stuff like that. But the thing that makes it interesting is everybody has to wear a gas mask. If you breathe in the spores, you get infected and you're dead. Ellie doesn't wear she can't get infected. So there's points where you're playing as Joel and he has to get his mask on, and she can kind of, that's how he discovers in the game that, oh fuck, she is actually immune. So we didn't get any of that in the first season, so it's quite an exciting thing that's coming to the set. Well, I'm excited anyway, because that's when you fill with terror, is when you know, oh fuck, like you can hear it, and then you start hearing, oh, I can't wait for Last of Us 2, it's going to be so fucking good.
You hear that, listeners? We've got more biology coming this way, so here we go.
Spoken like a true Xbox player. Not a clue what I'm talking about, bringing up tension in a game. So yeah, again, it doesn't change anything for me. I was like fucking 10 out of 10 excited. I'm still 10 out of 10 excited to see this season. It comes out April 13th on HBO. We will be doing week to week for that. I am going to figure out how. I'll be in Lincoln, but I'm going to figure out how that I can do that week to week, because I for me, it's exciting, and I want the four of us to do it because it's exciting, because you two haven't seen it, so you're experiencing it for the first time. But obviously, me and Joseph are re-experiencing it. So I like getting his thoughts on like, oh, how well was it adapted, how well, all that kind of good stuff. But we want to know what you thought. Let us know in the comment section. Please, please, please. Get in the comment section and let us know what you thought of all the stories that we talked about today. Have you watched the Last of Us trailer? Are you interested in Sadie Sink? What's your thoughts on the Harry Potter castings? Have you watched Adolescence? Do you recommend that we watch it? Would you like us to review it? All that good stuff. We also want to say a huge thank you for your support. We've had some lovely little milestones that we've reached this week. We've reached 5,000 listens on Spotify and Apple, I think, a combination. I don't know how the breakdown works, but we got a notification we got 5,000 5,000 listens for our podcast, and we only have 5 videos up on YouTube, and we've got over 50 hours worth of people watching. So
there we go. That's great.
Sincerely, thank you so much for everyone. If you have been contributing for watching, we very much appreciate it. It's a lovely little boost for us that you guys are interested in what we're doing. But now I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to ask for more. So if you're watching, give us a thumbs up. Just say hello. Whatever you need, put it in the comment section, because the more you guys comment, the more traction that we get on YouTube, and that means more people will get sent this in their algorithm. So the more you interact with us, that means more people get to watch it, and the more people that watch it, the bigger we get, and the bigger we get, the more content we can do, and it becomes a lot easier for us to schedule around. And as I say, we enjoy doing this, so that's why we do it. So thank you so much for getting involved, and thank you so much for watching. But as I say, we need more. Comment, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as I say, interact with us, because the wonderful Steph done a lovely wee tweet cut something out from the catch up last week, and it made me fucking chuckle. So if you do something like that, if you're into doing stuff like that where you can break down funny wee videos and stuff like that, we'll retweet them, we'll interact with you, and yeah, shout out Steph, mate, fucking genius, very 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 funny. But that's all for this week. Craig, where can the lovely people find you and all that you do?
You can find me on all social media platforms. It's at Craig Andrew Mooney.
Polysmack.
You can find me grovelling and kissing ass to all of our wonderful and very handsome viewers and listeners who are praising my Instagram, which is at Stirrit Story. There we go, I found it in the end. At Stirrit Story, Instagram. 5,000 listens, and that's 50 hours of Polly smacking your face and yours.
Lovely.
And there'll be 50,000 more to come.
That's what we look forward to. You can find me at @AlfTheGrey on all social media platforms, but as I say, the important thing is make sure you are following along the podcast at WithMatesPod on all social media. We are at WithMatesPodcast on YouTube. So yeah, if you've not watched last week's episode, go watch last week's episode. Give us comments, give us likes, give us shares, all that good stuff. We very, very, very much appreciate it. We will be back later in the week with Daredevil and Invincible. Movie-wise, we might do a lovely little hate watch of Snow White and give you our thoughts on Snow White. Could do a quick wee podcast on Snow White.
Yes.
Hi-ho, hi-ho. Hate watch Snow White we go.
Now, I say hate watch. I will go in with an open mind and I hope it's very, very good. But everything I'm hearing is not going to be very good. So we will go and we will give you our honest opinions when we get out. I hope it's great. I hope Rachel does a good job. I hope Gal Gadot does a good job. I hope he's all smashed it. But it didn't look good.
I have the distinct feeling that when they put that movie into the projector, the digital projector, the screen may actually catch fire. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we will be here anyway, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for all the stuff we've got coming out. So once again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Let's on the